Hi everybody, my name's Andy and I'm back again with another video on solar. Today is fitting two more 515 watt solar panels. I've already had two installed by myself and I am now fitting two more just to add to my capacity and get as much energy as possible. Now, if you've seen the previous videos on my channel, you would know that I've got the Aferiy PS240 solar setup, DIY setup you could call it, where it's a just under 2 kilowatt battery, and you can connect up to 4 solar panels in total. I've had the system around 2 weeks, and I've been using it with 2 panels and it's been working very well, but obviously it can take up to 4 panels, so I ordered another 2 as soon as I basically set the system up, and I was really pleased with how it was working. I ordered 2 more panels. I've got the panels from City Plumbing. They're 515 watts and they generate on average around between 400 to 500 watts per panel, which is very impressive. The brackets I'm using to fit the panels are just from Amazon. I can put a link in the description so you can buy them if you want. I've got a sort of metal sheeted roof on my garage. They are going on my garage, not on the house, just because it's a fair amount of space on my garage, and I get a fair amount of sun on the garage, so, and it's easier to obviously fit on the garage. So they're just from Amazon. They come with some brilliant screws, which is brilliant for metal, so I literally just place it in between the grooves and screw the initial brackets onto the roof, ready for the clamps to secure the solar panels to the roof. So once I have screwed all the brackets where I needed them, basically copying the same sort of spacing and locations from the second panels so it all matches up, I started to run the cables in for the 2 extra panels. I managed to get 8-meter cables for these 2 panels. The first 2 panels I managed to just get 5-meter cables because they were closer to the battery. These I've got 8 because I've actually put the panels actually the opposite side of the garage to where the other 2 are, mainly because that's where the sun rises. So basically the theory is the 2 panels at the front of the garage can get the sun in the morning, then as the sun sort of goes up in the like sort of early afternoon, it will then reach the panels at the back of the garage, plus also the ones at the front of the garage. So I've put them at the front of the garage just so you get sun in the day in the morning and then sun in the afternoon as well, so you're sort of always generating power. So I'm now lifting them onto the roof, ready to secure onto the brackets. I have got more room for more panels if needed. The gap between the panels fitted is big enough technically to fit 2 more panels, so I could have a total of 6 panels, although I think I'm probably just going to stick with a 4, mainly because, you know, I've got 4 panels which are 515 watts each, so that's, you know, 2 kilowatts an hour, obviously peak is plenty. And to be fair, I don't know how the battery would sort of, if it would actually work if I was to sort of tie 2 panels in together and put it into one port on the battery. It says if you've got a battery and an expansion battery, it can take up to 2,400 watts of solar. And then obviously if you've got one battery, it says it can only do up to 2,000 watts solar panels, from what I can gather. That's what it sort of says online and what it says on the box. But I think I'm going to stick with 4 panels for the system. 2 kilowatts is fine, and even on a cloudy day, it can probably generate a decent amount, having just the 4 panels. But I have got room for 2 more panels if needed, if I get a different system or another battery or some sort of additional system. I have got space for 2 more panels if needed, which is brilliant. So I'm just putting the second panel onto the roof. The first panel is all in situ, so I'll get the second panel all hooked up to the 2 cables that I've run on the roof, and get the second panel sort of in situ, and then basically I'll show you how the brackets sort of clamp down onto the solar panels, and to be fair, they are very solid. The 2 I've had installed for a few weeks have been perfect, haven't moved, and we've had a few windy days, and the brackets, to be fair, give them their due, are doing what they should be doing, holding the panels down even in sort of windy conditions. There's no issues with the brackets. They are very, very good. So yeah, that's all hooked up now. I will at some point put some black trunking in between the panel in the gap, just to finish it off a bit, just to sort of hide the cables, just to make it look a little bit better than just having cables. I'll just put a nice bit of trunking in between the panels, and then it's just hidden and just finishes it off basically. So these clips basically pretty simple. They literally have like a sort of an L bracket sort of system, with a nut sort of plate that goes underneath the bracket, a screw and a couple washers which all holds it together. You literally just then slide it into the bracket and put it over the solar panel and literally screw it down. Now there's a long side and a short side. I need the shorter side, but I think the longer side is for slightly thicker panels. Yeah, I'm assuming there's thicker panels out there, but it comes with 2 different sides, which is great. So if you've got older panels, which I'm assuming are probably a bit thicker, it would still work, because I know some people can get them second hand, but yeah, the newer panels are about 30mm sort of high. So I've done the shorter panel, but literally all you do is feed the bracket into the bracket that you've screwed to the roof, put it over the solar panel, and literally, as you can see, just do the Allen key up, sort of hand tight, and then a little bit more, and that holds it in place. It's a brilliant system. I wasn't too sure at first if it was actually going to work, but for this sort of roof setup, for the garage, they've worked brilliantly, and it takes the weight of the panel fine. There's no issues with that, so it's I'm very impressed with the system. Like I say, you might need different brackets depending on what roof you have, but if you've got a flat roof or similar to roof of what I have, like a metal tin roof, then these brackets are perfect. Absolutely brilliant. So that's pretty much it fitted now. We'll have a look on the app in a minute just to see what we're producing. But yeah, that's basically how I've installed my panels. I've got 4 in total. They're 515 watts each. You can get slightly lower. I think you can get 475s. But yeah, I've gone for the 515s just to get as much power as possible. And to be fair, they're not much more expensive. So that's all in on the roof now. And then I head into the garage. All the cables are coming back down into the PS240. And I'm just looking at the app now. I've actually disconnected 1 panel. So I've actually currently got 3 panels powering the battery, mainly because when I installed these panels, it was beaming sunshine, and it was actually producing just over 2 kilowatts, which it says online, if you've only got one battery like I have, you should only have a limit of 2,000 watts, which is 2 kilowatts. Now, the 4 panels in good sunshine was producing about 2.1 kilowatts, 2,100 watts. So it was over really what they say. So I've took one panel off just for now until my expansion battery comes in June, July time, just in case. It might not do any damage to the battery, but I'm not really going to take that risk. So I've took one out for now, but you can see on the app now, this was with 4 panels connected. I was drawing in 1,400 watts, then it was jumping up a bit, and then you'll see in a minute it did actually jump up to around 2 kilowatts. But very impressed. It's definitely going to add more power, especially when it's more cloudy. That's what you want. Obviously, you want it to generate well in the sun, but you also want to have maximum capacity when it's cloudy. So there'll be definitely more videos on the Aferiy PS240 coming soon. This is just basically a panel install. I'm going to get it hardwired all in soon, and then we can get the smart meter fitted. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope it was helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more solar videos. Take care, see you soon.